Stop using olive oil alone. Right now, millions of men are consuming olive oil for their health, thinking they're doing something beneficial, and they are. But they're missing out on performance enhancements that are 3 times more powerful simply because they don't know about the strategic oil combinations that create synergistic effects far beyond what olive oil can do on its own. The secret isn't replacing olive oil. It's mixing it with specific complementary oils in precise ratios that unlock vascular and hormonal effects that seem almost impossible until you experience them yourself. Hey there, and welcome back to Senior Men's Health. I'm Dr. Sophia Carter, and today we're exploring something that represents a quantum leap in natural male enhancement. We're not just talking about adding oils to your regimen. We're talking about creating carefully formulated blends, where the oils work synergistically, where the compounds in one oil enhance the absorption and effectiveness of compounds in another oil, where the combined effect is exponentially greater than the sum of the individual parts. Let me start by explaining why olive oil is the perfect base for these synergistic blends. Extra virgin olive oil contains powerful polyphenol, particularly oleoanthal and hydroxytol, that have profound effects on vascular health. These polyphenol reduce inflammation, protect endothelial cells from oxidative damage, and improve the ability of blood vessels to dilate in response to nitric oxide signaling. Olive oil also provides oleic acid, a monounsaturated fatty acid that's incorporated into cell membranes throughout your body. When your cell membranes are rich in oleic acid rather than saturated fats or damaged oxidized fats, those cells function better. For endothelial cells, this means better nitric oxide production. For lytic cells in your testes, this means better testosterone synthesis. The fatty acid composition of your cell membranes directly influences cellular function, and olive oil provides the ideal fatty acids for optimal membrane health. But here's what makes olive oil the perfect base for these strategic blends. It enhances the absorption of fat-soluble compounds from other oils. The oleic acid in olive oil creates an optimal environment in your digestive tract for the absorption of the specialized bioactive compounds in other oils. When you combine olive oil with oils that contain unique therapeutic compounds, you get dramatically better absorption and bioavailability of those compounds compared to using them alone. The number one oil you need to mix with olive oil is black seed oil, creating what I call the endothelial activation blend. The combination of olive oil and black seed oil produces effects that are far greater than either oil alone. And the mechanism behind this synergy is fascinating. Black seed oil contains thymoquinone, a compound with extraordinary effects on inflammation and oxidative stress. But thymoquinone is somewhat unstable and prone to degradation. The polyphenol in olive oil, particularly ulacanthal, protect thymidone from oxidative degradation, keeping it stable and active in your system longer. This means the thioquinone exerts stronger and longer-lasting effects when consumed with olive oil than when black seed oil is consumed alone. Additionally, the oleic acid in olive oil enhances the absorption of thioquinone through your intestinal wall. Research has shown that fat-soluble compounds like thioquinone are absorbed significantly better when consumed with monounsaturated fats like those in olive oil compared to being consumed with saturated fats or alone. The synergy works in the other direction as well. Thymoquinone from black seed oil protects the polyphenol in olive oil from degradation in your digestive tract and enhances their anti-inflammatory effects. The two oils create a protective partnership where each one enhances the stability and effectiveness of the other. Here's the precise formula for the endothelial activation blend. Combine 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil with half a teaspoon of black seed oil. This ratio provides approximately 4 parts olive oil to 1 part black seed oil, which research and traditional use suggest is optimal for synergistic effects. Consume this blend once daily, ideally with breakfast or your largest meal to maximize absorption. The effects of this combination are both immediate and cumulative. Many men notice increased energy and warmth throughout their body within a few hours of their first dose, indicating improved circulation. With daily use over 2 to 4 weeks, improvements in male function become apparent. By 8 to 12 weeks, the benefits are often dramatic with significant enhancements in firmness, quality, duration, and reliability. Now let's talk about the second powerful combination, which mixes olive oil with pomegranate seed oil. This blend, which I call the nitric oxide amplifier, creates powerful synergistic effects on the primary mechanism that controls blood flow and firmness. Pomegranate seed oil contains penicic acid, that rare omega-5 fatty acid. We discussed earlier that dramatically enhances nitric oxide production. The olive oil in this blend serves multiple synergistic functions. First, it provides a carrier that improves the absorption and distribution of punic acid. Second, the polyphenol in olive oil protect nitric oxide from degradation once it's produced. This is crucial because there is no point in producing more nitric oxide if it's immediately broken down by free radicals before it can exert its effects. Third, olive oil itself has mild nitric oxide enhancing effects through its impact on endothelial function. When you combine the strong nitric oxide production boost from pomegranate seed oil with the nitric oxide protection and mild enhancement from olive oil, you get a compounding effect where nitric oxide levels increase dramatically and stay elevated longer. The formula for the nitric oxide amplifier is 1 teaspoon of extra virgin olive oil mixed with 1/4 teaspoon of pomegranate seed oil. Pomegranate seed oil is quite potent, so less is needed compared to black seed oil. This ratio provides approximately 12 parts olive oil to 1 part pomegranate seed oil. Consume this blend 30 to 60 minutes before anticipated activity for acute performance enhancement. The timing allows for optimal absorption and conversion to active compounds. Many men report that this blend produces noticeable effects within an hour, with peak effects occurring around 90 minutes after consumption. For cumulative benefits, consume this blend daily, regardless of activity schedule. Daily consumption progressively improves baseline endothelial function and nitric oxide production capacity, making your vascular system more responsive overall. Let's discuss the third powerful combination, which mixes olive oil with pine bark extract oil. This blend creates what I call the vascular flexibility formula, and it's particularly beneficial for men whose primary issue is arterial stiffness rather than just inadequate blood flow. As men age, arteries become progressively stiffer due to changes in the structural proteins in arterial walls, accumulation of calcium and plaque, and loss of the elastin fibers that give vessels their flexibility. Stiff arteries cannot dilate adequately even when nitric oxide signaling is optimal. You need both the signal to dilate and the physical ability of the vessel to respond to that signal. Pine bark extract contains proanthocyanin that specifically target arterial flexibility. These compounds increase the production of elastin and collagen in proper ratios, improve the cross-linking of these structural proteins, and prevent the breakdown of elastin that occurs with aging and oxidative stress. The result is arteries that are more flexible and capable of dramatic dilation. The olive oil in this blend provides the polyphenol that protect these proanthocyanins from degradation and enhance their absorption. The combination produces effects on arterial flexibility that are significantly greater than either compound alone. The formula is 1 teaspoon of extra virgin olive oil mixed with 1/4 teaspoon of concentrated pine bark extract oil. If using a standardized liquid extract rather than an oil, adjust the amount to provide approximately 100 to 150 milligrams of proanthocyanin per dose. This blend works best with consistent daily use over weeks and months rather than acute pre-activity dosing. Arterial flexibility. Improvements develop gradually as the structural changes in vessel walls occur. Most men notice meaningful improvements in function after 6 to 8 weeks of daily use, with continued improvements over 3 to 6 months. Now, let's talk about mixing olive oil with sea buckthorn seed oil, creating the membrane optimizer blend. This combination is particularly powerful for overall vascular health because it provides an extraordinarily complete fatty acid profile that optimizes cell membrane composition throughout your entire cardiovascular system. Sea buckthorn seed oil contains omega-3, omega-6, omega-7, and omega-9 fatty acids in a ratio that appears uniquely beneficial for vascular health. The omega-7 fatty acids, particularly pallileic acid, are quite rare in dietary sources and have specific effects on reducing vascular inflammation and improving endothelial function. When you combine the fatty acid profile of sea buckthorn with the oleic acid and polyphenol of olive oil, you create a comprehensive membrane optimization formula. The diverse fatty acids are incorporated into cell membranes of endothelial cells, smooth muscle cells, and arterial walls, and the cells in erectile tissue. These optimized membranes function better, respond more effectively to signals, and resist damage from oxidative stress. The formula is 1 teaspoon of extra virgin olive oil mixed with half a teaspoon of sea buckthorn seed oil. This ratio provides a good balance of the different fatty acid families while ensuring adequate polyphenol content from the olive oil. Consume this blend daily with a meal. The effects are primarily cumulative rather than acute. Over 4 to 8 weeks, improvements in overall circulation, skin and mucous membrane health, and male function typically become apparent. This is an excellent blend for men focused on long-term vascular health maintenance rather than just acute performance enhancement. Let's discuss the hormone support blend, which mixes olive oil with evening primrose oil. This combination targets the hormonal components of male function rather than just vascular mechanisms, creating a more comprehensive enhancement. Evening primrose oil is rich in gamma-linolenic acid, or GLA, which influences prostaglandin production and hormonal signaling. GLA appears to support healthy testosterone levels through its effects on reducing systemic inflammation and supporting the function of hormone-producing tissues. It also affects the sensitivity of tissues to hormonal signals, potentially making lower testosterone levels more effective. The olive oil enhances GLA absorption and provides additional anti-inflammatory support through its polyphenol. The combination creates an anti-inflammatory and hormone-supportive environment that allows for better testosterone production and utilization. The formula is 1 teaspoon of extra virgin olive oil mixed with 1 teaspoon of evening primrose oil. Evening primrose oil is milder than some of the other specialty oils, so a larger proportion is used. This provides approximately 3 parts olive oil to 1 part evening primrose oil. Consume this blend daily, ideally in the evening. The hormone-supporting effects build over weeks, with most men noticing improvements in energy, libido, and function after 4 to 6 weeks of consistent daily use. Now, let's talk about creating a rotation protocol using different oil blends on different days to provide comprehensive support through multiple mechanisms. A 7-day rotation might look like this. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, use the endothelial activation blend with black seed oil for powerful anti-inflammatory and testosterone support. Tuesday and Thursday, use the nitric oxide amplifier with pomegranate seed oil for maximum blood flow enhancement. Saturday, use the vascular flexibility formula with pine bark extract for arterial health. Sunday, use the membrane optimizer with sea buckthorn for cellular health. This rotation ensures you're targeting male function through multiple pathways rather than relying solely on one mechanism. The comprehensive approach typically produces better results than using any single blend exclusively. Alternatively, some men prefer to create a master blend that combines multiple specialty oils with olive oil for daily use. A comprehensive master blend might include 1 teaspoon of extra virgin olive oil, 1/4 teaspoon of pomegranate seed oil, 1/4 teaspoon of black seed oil, and 1/4 teaspoon of Seed buckthorn seed oil. This provides simultaneous support through multiple mechanisms in one convenient daily dose. The challenge with master blends is ensuring proper ratios and not overwhelming your system with too many concentrated compounds. Start with the individual blends. Assess your response to each, and then create a custom master blend based on which oils seem most beneficial for your specific situation. Let's discuss the preparation and storage of these blends. You can either mix these oils fresh daily or prepare larger batches for convenience. For fresh daily mixing, simply measure the appropriate amounts of each oil into a small glass and consume immediately. This ensures maximum freshness and potency. For batch preparation, combine the oils in appropriate ratios in a dark glass bottle. For instance, to make a 1-week supply of the endothelial activation blend, combine 7 tablespoons of olive oil with 3.5 teaspoons of black seed oil in a dark amber or blue glass bottle. Shake well before each use and store in the refrigerator between uses. Batch preparation saves time, but requires proper storage to maintain oil quality. Always use dark glass bottles, never clear or plastic. Store in the refrigerator and use within 2 weeks for optimal potency. Never prepare batches larger than 2 weeks supply, as the oils will begin degrading beyond this time frame, even with proper storage. Now let's address the timing and method of consumption for maximum effectiveness. All of these oil blends are fat-soluble compounds that require proper absorption to exert their effects. Taking them on an empty stomach results in poor absorption and reduced effectiveness. The optimal approach is consuming your oil blend with a meal that contains at least 10 to 15 grams of fat from food sources. This triggers the release of bile acids that emulsify fats and dramatically improve absorption. Breakfast is often ideal because it sets up good circulation and hormonal support for the entire day. For acute performance enhancement, particularly with a nitric oxide amplifier blend, consume the oils 60 to 90 minutes before anticipated activity with a light meal or snack containing some fat. A handful of nuts, a piece of cheese, or half an UI. Avocado provides sufficient fat to enhance absorption without creating the sluggish, overfull feeling that a large meal might cause. Let's talk about the quality standards that are absolutely critical for these blends to work as intended. For the olive oil base, you must use authentic extra virgin olive oil, not regular olive oil or light olive oil. Extra virgin olive oil is the only grade that contains significant amounts of the polyphenol that provide therapeutic benefits. Regular and light olive oils have been refined, which removes most of these beneficial compounds. Authentic extra virgin olive oil has a green or golden color, a fruity aroma, and often a slightly peppery or bitter taste due to the polyphenol. If your olive oil has no taste or a flat, greasy taste, it's probably not true extra virgin quality, or it's stale. The specialty oils you mix with olive oil must also be high quality, cold pressed, and organic when possible. Black seed oil should be dark, amber to black, and have a distinctive pungent aroma. Pomegranate seed oil should be deep red-orange. Seed buckthorn seed oil should be yellow-orange. Evening primrose oil should be pale yellow. If the colors and aromas don't match these descriptions, the oils may be diluted, refined, or of poor quality. Now, let's discuss the investment and cost effectiveness of this approach. High-quality extra virgin olive oil costs approximately $15 to $30 per liter. The specialty oils are more expensive, typically $40 to $80 per ounce for pomegranate seed oil and black seed oil, $20 to $40 per ounce for sea buckthorn and evening primrose oil. While these prices might seem high, the small amounts used in these blends make them quite cost-effective. 1 teaspoon of olive oil daily means a liter lasts approximately 2 months, costing $7 to $15 monthly. The specialty oils at 4 to half teaspoon doses last even longer. The total monthly cost for these oil Blends ranges from $20 to $50 depending on which specialty oils you use. Compared to pharmaceutical options or even many supplement protocols, this represents an extremely cost-effective intervention with comprehensive health benefits that extend far beyond just male function. Let's address the expected timeline of results with consistent use of these oil blends. The timeline varies somewhat depending on which blend you're using and what your underlying issues are. The nitric oxide amplifier with pomegranate seed oil often produces the fastest noticeable effects, with some men reporting improvements within the first few days of use. These acute effects become more reliable and pronounced with continued daily use over 2 to 4 weeks. The endothelial activation blend with black seed oil typically requires 2 to 4 weeks of daily use before effects become apparent, with progressive improvements continuing through 8 to 12 weeks. The vascular flexibility formula with pine bark extract works most gradually, requiring 6 to 12 weeks of consistent daily use before significant improvements in arterial flexibility and function become apparent. The membrane optimizer and hormone support blends work on intermediate timelines, typically producing noticeable effects after 4 to 8 weeks of daily use. The key with all of these blends is consistency. Daily consumption without fail produces far better results than sporadic use. These are cumulative interventions that progressively restore optimal function through ongoing cellular and vascular improvements. Finally, let's discuss safety considerations. These oil blends are generally extremely safe with far fewer side effects and contraindications than pharmaceutical options. However, there are some considerations. Men taking blood-thinning medications should consult their healthcare provider before using these blends regularly, particularly those containing black seed oil or evening primrose oil, as these may have mild anticoagulant effects. Men with gallbladder disease should start with small amounts of these oil blends and increase gradually as the thought content stimulates bile release, which could potentially trigger discomfort in men with gallbladder issues. Digestive upset is occasionally reported when starting these oils, particularly if consuming them on an empty stomach. Taking the blends with meals virtually eliminates this issue. Start with the recommended doses rather than thinking more is better. These are concentrated bioactive compounds, and the doses I've provided are optimized for therapeutic benefit without adverse effects. Thanks for sticking with me through this comprehensive guide. If you found this valuable, please subscribe to Senior Men's Health for more evidence-based natural health strategies. Until next time, this is Dr. Sophia Carter reminding you that the right combinations create synergies that transform good interventions into extraordinary ones.